Madonna, who is still going at it today at age 64, is a cultural icon unlike any other. The singer broke out into prominence in the 1980s and has since risen up the ranks to become unmatched pop royalty. Many may wonder how Madonna became the legend she is today, and it all started back when she was a young woman. Looking back at young Madonna now, it's plain to see what audiences saw in her. Join Facts First as we explore how photos of young Madonna prove she was destined for stardom. Madonna was born in Bay City, Michigan in 1958. For the first few years of her life, she went by the name of Nonno, so as to avoid confusion with her mother. However, this was no longer an issue after her mother's tragic passing when Madonna was only 5. This was from breast cancer. After her mother died, things were never the same for Madonna. She found herself stifled by her conservative upbringing, as her father proved much more controlling after his wife passed away. Having grown up in a strict religious household, Madonna began to rebel at a young age. Her father persisted in trying to raise his daughter in the way he felt was right. While Madonna could be found sneaking out at night and traipsing off to local nightclubs in revealing outfits, her father kept her mind from stagnating by forcing her to study classical piano. Madonna was eventually able to convince her father to let her study classical ballet instead of piano. Of course, Madonna went on to put both her dancing skills and her innate musicality to good use as an adult. Though Madonna liked to rebel, she managed to do very well in high school due to the stringent demands of her father. The future star graduated from Rochester Adams High School with straight A's, and she was also a member of the cheerleading squad while attending there. From the outside looking in, it seemed Madonna's strict upbringing had paid off and she was destined for great things. Though she certainly has accomplished great things in her adult life, she decided to drop out of college and to become a star instead. Since Madonna was now of age, her father had no say in the decision. Of course, Madonna floundered for a few years in New York City before striking it big.
Let's talk about the sponsor for today's video, Aura. Aura is an all-in-one solution to protect you from identity theft online. It includes identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software, all wrapped up into one easy-to-use app. If you're not using every single one of these tools to protect yourself, you're going to have a weak spot. It's like making sure your front door is locked, but leaving your back door wide open for intruders. Aura continuously monitors the dark web for any of your personal information, and they'll send you an alert the moment they find anything. I was shocked to find out that several of my login credentials were found on the dark web, and I wouldn't have known this without Aura. If you're active online, it's nearly impossible to protect all of your personal information unless you're using a tool like Aura. This is exactly why there are so many victims of cybercrime and identity theft. In fact, identity theft is so common, there's a new victim every 14 seconds. That means at least 3 people have had their identity stolen since I started talking about Aura in this video. So if you want to protect yourself and your family from identity theft, go to aura.com/factsverse. By visiting this URL or clicking the link in the description, you can get a 14-day free trial of Aura and start getting protection today.
Madonna found fame in New York City eventually. Madonna fled to New York with dreams of becoming a star as soon as she came of age. Since she was defying the wishes of her father, she didn't receive any financial support. However, she ended up making ends meet by working menial jobs before eventually finding success as a pop star. It's been said that Madonna worked at a variety of restaurants as a waitress, and she also posed nude as an art model and worked sporadically as a dancer. Meanwhile, she continued her pursuit of stardom by forming bands with various boyfriends, one of whom was notable musician Dan Gilroy. Together, the two formed a musical group named The Breakfast Club, alongside a handful of other musicians. Dan Gilroy's The Breakfast Club is far from the only band Madonna became a part of. However, the soon-to-be pop star ended up finding her big break as a solo artist. In between moving to New York City and starting her solo career, there was a period of time where Madonna traveled to France and worked as a showgirl. Photos from this period show that Madonna certainly had the looks to attract the audience, and it was only a matter of time before people realized she had a good amount of talent as well. In 1981, Madonna finally made the wise career choice to start up her solo career. She was signed to Sire Records as a pop singer, a label that was a subsidiary of Warner Music Group. In 1982, Madonna released her debut single, Everybody. The song became a major success and ended up being featured on the singer's self-titled debut album. That album was released in 1983. Though the album was a hit, few could have predicted just what a major star Madonna would be in the ensuing years. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Though Everybody was Madonna's debut single and the song's success paved the way for her to release her self-titled debut, that song is far from being the most notable on the album. Nowadays, that debut is known for Lucky Star and Borderline. To this day, there are many who consider Lucky Star to be Madonna's signature song, and the singer still makes sure to perform it in concert decades later. However, the follow-up to Madonna's self-titled debut proved an even bigger success. The follow-up album, Like a Virgin, was released on the strength of its namesake single, as well as the equally iconic song Material Girl. If Madonna's self-titled debut had made her a star in pop music, the success of the 1984 follow-up album made her a superstar that transcended genre. With the album's release, Madonna solidified her status as one of the most notable musicians of the 1980s. As she was becoming a superstar, she began dating actor Sean Penn. The two tied the knot in 1985 and had a very tumultuous marriage. However, to this day, Madonna still considers the actor to be the love of her life. The singer dedicated her follow-up album to Like a Virgin to her husband, and the album was named True Blue. All the songs on the album can be read as love letters to Sean, though the two didn't seem very happy in their relationship at the time the album was released. Infamously, there was said to have been a time during the marriage where Sean locked Madonna in their bathroom and tried to pull her hair out. The two divorced in 1989. Madonna's career has had incredible longevity. Though Madonna was forced to venture into the 1990s, sans the abusive love of her life, she still had her superstardom to carry her through. And the singer found herself more famous than ever in the 1990s. Her first release during the decade was a greatest hits album called The Immaculate Collection. For most artists, the release of a greatest hits compilation would mean their days of making hits were behind them. However, Madonna has continued releasing hit music in the decades since the compilation's release. Once Madonna realized she had conquered the world of music, she decided she wanted to conquer the world of film as well. However, she has never had very much luck in the world of cinema. Her first foray into the world of acting came via 1985's Desperately Seeking Susan, which also yielded one of the singer's most iconic songs. That was Into the Groove, which is remembered much more fondly than the film that spawned it. Though Desperately Seeking Susan was a modest success, the same can't be said for the other pictures Madonna starred in during the 80s. In 1986, she starred alongside Sean Penn in Shanghai Surprise. A year later, she performed the lead role in Who's That Girl? Both films were failures and are largely forgotten today. In the 90s, Madonna continued to try to make a name for herself on the big screen. In 1991, the documentary Madonna, Truth or Dare was released to critical acclaim. Finally, Madonna had found a role in a film worthy of her unique talents, and that role was her own self. Around the time the documentary was being filmed, she was in a relationship with actor Warren Beatty, but the two never married. What is Madonna doing nowadays? Madonna is still around and still continues to make music and perform. She also still dreams of gaining the Hollywood respect she's always coveted. Today she's hard at work on a film she says is going to tell her life story. She's directing it, though it's not the first movie she's directed. She's directed a few maligned independent films, starting with 2008's Filth and Wisdom. The new biopic is set to star actress Julia Garner as the young pop star, though the 64-year-old pop music legend wanted to play the role herself. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite Madonna song of all time? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.